Okay, so I'm going to talk about what happened. I think it was 2 or so weeks ago. And, well, I went to the hospital thought my kidneys were like seriously infected. I've already had a kidney infection and I was in a lot of pain. And it took so long for them to actually get me into the hospital that I was like, let's just leave because I had to throw up and stuff. Okay. The whole point is after that, I think it was the next day. Well, I mean, you could call it hallucinating because that's how I look at it now. Everyone else would think I was crazy, but hear me out. Okay, this all started with these like little pebble things that were supposed to like clean me out. And I know it sounds bad, but I mean, I'm not on drugs. I might be a little bit of an alcoholic, but the only reason I didn't drink for 2 days is because of this all happened and I didn't have time. But okay, so these things went inside and it was weird because I got to like see inside my entire body and all these like things that wanted out anyway and blah, blah, blah. And then they couldn't stop like trying to fix anything they could see wrong. But then they found this one thing and I remember it fell off of like the roof of my mouth. And it was like this scorpion looking, parasite looking thing and it had a casing on it. That was my key though to try to help this coronavirus. What's weird about it though is I've only heard about the coronavirus a couple days before that. I got accused of having it just because I had a cough. And they were being funny and they were never really actually funny, but I've never looked it up, never knew anything about it. And so then, okay, so this is what happened. I had to, all of a sudden I just had no recollection of what I could do at all. But I kind of remember bits and pieces. All I know is when I did get that out, I had like, it's like everything was instruction-wise in my head. And I had to get rid of the exoskeleton like I was talking about. It was like gray and it's really weird that in the end it doesn't appear about what I saw in my mouth that fell off after all these other things were taken away from me. I don't know. Sounds crazy, but I'm just want to give my story. I guess I went through about 18-hour period of, well, 18-hour period altogether, but I think that it only took me about 10 to get rid of the skeleton thing, as far as I knew. And then I could get the instructions in my head to create the insect so that I could give it, like, to the news. Anybody that could help all these people dying of coronavirus. I was doing really crazy things I would never be able to do in real life. And I also, the last thing I do remember this part. I had to ask the person that was watching me around here, which was my boss, to smack me in the head. And he wouldn't do it. And if he ever got near me, even afterwards, or anytime during this, I mean, like, I would have superhuman strength, and well, could not do anything about this. I needed to get this done to help people, which is maybe why I'm making this video, because someone's got to know something about this. I mean, why? I'm actually normal. I might have a drinking problem and stuff, but like, this happened out of nowhere. And maybe I could help. I'm not that dumb like everyone thinks. I'm actually really intelligent. I know that, but like, after I got done, we'll just go with that. But like I said, I was superhuman strength. He could never make me stop, okay? Because I remember, like, throwing him over, and I don't think I could ever do that. Like, I mean, I try, but I mean, he's my boss, so I mean, like, what the fuck? But after he hit me in the head, that's when I immediately got up, and then I could start on my next journey, which was to create this insect. But first of all, I'd explain about how this thing came alive. What's weird about it, though, is, and I mean, I literally was sweating, spitting, but only using strands of my hair to spit at the legacy of the bug that we're talking about, okay? Every strain of this bug looked more like a spider. I guess it could have all of a sudden been a scorpion. I guess you're right. I wasn't really looking, but I know what the thing I ended up manifesting was, and it never was to be. But I know, I mean, literally, I know exactly how it's built and what it looks like. And this whole thing started in China, right? Why aren't people looking at it a little bit more as maybe a man-made insect with the disease in it, and they send it out? They have a population issue. And whoever's let this laboratory actually exist that long is ridiculous, but I can see it happening because doesn't it feel like everyone thinks we have a population issue in this entire country, too? And it affects kids, but it doesn't. It just gets transmitted to anybody who's sick or elderly. That's fucking ridiculous. Why are we trying to do such a population control? I mean, I understand why it's easy for China to always make diseases, but they have a fucking laboratory where they're doing this shit at, and it's actually public. People know about this. And it's very possible. And the only reason they can't tell you on the news is because what? You're not supposed to know that shit, right? They're not supposed to be liable. I'm telling you, when I did this, I went through 2 days of hell, just so you know. Without drinking whatsoever. It had nothing to do with drinking. If only I hadn't drank a little bit before, but it happened right away. It's like, how did I go 2 days without drinking? I mean, I know that I've hallucinated before when I detox, but I mean, come on. Everything I do with this coronavirus, I never really heard about. I only heard the name. And I was speaking things, apparently, verbatimly, scientifically, about every plague that was used to make this scorpion-looking wasp. It was mostly yellow and black, so it kind of looked like, you know, I mean, a bee or a wasp, whatever, but it was very large, and it had 2 injectors inside of it to sting. I had to gurgle up its fluid twice, and it was hot. Even my boss asked, because he was around at that point, and I wasn't aware of any surroundings, but if you mess with me, I would really mess with you. So he kind of knew that, but he just was watching, and he told me, what was that boiling shit inside of your mouth? And that's exactly what I was doing. Something happened. It was unexplainable, but if I was hallucinating, how could he notice shit like that when he was completely fine? I'm just saying, what if something that happened was meant for me to actually do something in this world for once? Because that's what I felt like I was put on this earth to do. And now I'm sick, so I mean, well, I mean, I don't know if I have that, but I can't get in the hospital for anything else because, fuck, they're all fucking full. But what if it is something like that, a man-made insect? Like exactly what, I swear to God, I passed out for like 2 hours because I had to hold it incubated underneath me. And I know exactly what, I could draw you a picture. I could color it. I don't care. I just know exactly what it looked like. And I'm just saying, what if it was something like that? And the whole time, though, when in the beginning, I knew I was gonna go through hell for some reason, but like because it was gonna be so important for society, I wanted to do it. Because in the end, I really believed I was gonna find the cure from the anti-venom of the animal I thought I had underneath me, the insect, incubated. And it came from so many plagues before, like used together to combine themselves to make this. And if it's not this one, because I don't think the coronavirus is going to be like Contagion, I think it's going to be the next one. But imagine the fact that they're actually doing this. I mean, they publicly stated it, but no one apparently understands what they mean.